Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whatever it is. Welcome to another episode of Sloss and Humphreys on the road, where we're very much not on the road. We're just in my office space in my back garden, talking through our arses about Kai's new house move, about why I hate pensioners, and of course Kai and his incredible scam of trying to get a £70 PlayStation 5, which was in no way a scam, and nobody could have possibly known it was a scam. But tune in to find out more.
Sloss and Humphreys on the road.
Muggins and cream and muggins, straight thuggin', living the dream.
That's our intro.
Fucking muggles.
Tickling the clit inside your head that makes you laugh. They said it can't be done.
Are we in the same seats?
That's hack.
Ah, muggles.
Accidental rim job in the park.
Kiss, kiss, kiss.
Or am I just being cynical?
Muggled it up on fucking Mugglepedia.
Where have you been since 9/11?
Well, I bet it's been quiet around this place.
It has been nice.
Vibeless.
Vibeless?
Aye, there's no vibe.
All right,
Just
okay.
like, just that just constant feeling like it's something going to happen. Someone going to turn up. Like, you know that time when we were in Amsterdam and we were just all waiting for Barry. They would take mushrooms or something, or were just high.
When was this?
The time when there was quite a few come to Amsterdam. It was like you just been through a breakup.
Oh, it was after. Oh, yes, it was after that one. So it was you, me, Natalie.
Nah, the other one. Bat Signal was in the sky. Oh no, that was the one after the breakup.
Yeah, that was
not that one then.
Right. Okay.
God, it's good we've had that many Amsterdams.
Right.
But the one where all the goat gang turned up, and it got fucking. It was brutal.
Yeah, I don't remember it.
So we're stoned. We're in this dingy apartment, and we couldn't really get out because we were waiting for Barry.
Aye.
And there was just that limbo of waiting for Barry to turn up, but we're dead stoned.
Aye.
I was just like, "It's Barry here. Where's Barry?" Barry.
I don't remember it.
I don't remember that.
Nah.
I think it was mostly Cullen. Cullen was like fixated on it.
Aye.
Anyway.
Well, I mean, it's not a party until Barry turns up.
It's true. So that's what I'm getting at. Is like, what is your whole week?
Right. So what you're saying is, what Barry was to us in Amsterdam, you are to this house. Right. Okay.
Aye.
But the reason we haven't had your vibe is because
I've got my own place. I'm officially a homo.
You're a homo?
Nah.
Yep.
Nah,
a big old. No, you're a big old homo.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, you are. You and Natalie, you're a pair of homos. Nice.
Nah. So childish.
I'm saying that's great. Fuck it. Who gives a shit?
It's like I found myself when I'm on the M8. I put my cruise control on 69 all the time. I'm on my own. It's for no one else but me.
And this is also just proof for me and Ali that even when you're by yourself, you still drive under the fucking speed limit. Oh, just me when I'm on the motorway by myself, 2 a.m, still under the speed limit. Gotta be careful.
No, you know that 50 mile an hour stretch.
Aye,
As you come into the city, when you get at the city and they put him because it's all winding and that. So I'm fucking terrorising in the corners at 69.
Me and your wife have sent so many photos back and forth between us of just being passengers in your car, of screenshots of it being pitch black at night, a fine time to go over the speed limit, and just you happily listening to whatever audio that you've decided to listen to as you selflessly drive 15 miles under the speed limit. Well, we're not in a rush to get home because I'm in a good bit of my book. Hope there's plenty of Twitter to catch up on because we're going slow until we get there.
You're just busting for a piss. Like, keep on.
It's fair enough. Like, you've been in a lot of car crashes, and if you're driving,
a car crash.
You've been in plenty of car crashes, and if you want to drive safely,
just constantly crashing your car. I've been in one nasty one. But that reminded us of the time when... Did I tell you about when the lass fell over on the treadmill?
No.
So
always funny.
I work at the sports centre, right?
There's gym accidents that are funny and gym accidents that aren't funny. Gym accidents that are funny, somebody falling over on a treadmill and the treadmill sending them off the end. workplace accidents that aren't good. Like if you're lifting weights and they're too much and they come down and then you've just accidentally strangled yourself as 45 kilograms just presses itself down in your throat. Spotted.
I had a terrible one on the way to me, mate. You know what? I feel like I might be repeating stories, but I couldn't give a fuck. Right? But I'm pushing the weights in the gym. Right? This is back when I was like 22 or something. Right? We made Craig was spotting us, and then a pretty girl whacked in, and he whacked off. And left us, right? So they can't chat about her. I think he already knew her, but he was going to put some groundwork down. And I was left on my own, right? So on each side of the barbell, I had a 15, a 10 and a 5, right? On each end. And I'm going to date and I'm struggling, right? We haven't got the collars on because I'm being spotted and all that, right? And we're changing the weights all the time. We didn't put the collars on them, right? And it Guy's doing one side, the 5 drops off, right? So that gets lighter. So I push it up and the 5 drops off the other side and that gets lighter and I overcompensate. The 10 comes off one side, literally one after the other. The 5, the 10, the 10, the 15, the 15, till I'm left with just the fucking bar. And I just pushed the bar up like that. Like fucking victorious.
I did it. What was that, my best? 70? Was that 70? The bar's 10.
Me mate fucking devastated because he's like, he's with me.
Oh, as you can see, I help out those in need.
So it wasn't me at the receiving end of this accident in the gym. I heard over the tannoy A1 to the gym. That means there's been a fucking emergency. There could be a heart attack, could be fucking anything, right? Broken leg. They just need urgent assistance. I get to the gym and this poor lass was down between the treadmills. She was like, bit heavy, you know, but like she's in the gym because she wants to lose weight and that. She's fucking like, I don't know how she got in. I don't know how she got between the treadmills. She must have just like fucking been like rubbed herself up in butter before she fell. You couldn't fit a fucking credit card between her and either side of the fucking treadmill.
So she just sandwiched herself between two of them. So I'm assuming they're all lined up beside each other.
Aye.
Right.
She just somehow managed to fall doing in between them, right?
And she's not being like the treadmills are still going. They're not like
the customers like fucking stop the treadmill and hit the alarm. Right. So the alarm goes off. Reception see the alarm. They call the A1, and I got in and I ask her if she's all right and if she can feel any pain and is she okay. And she's crying, right? But she's like, I'm okay. I'm just really embarrassed. Like I think I can get up, but I'm just really embarrassed.
Which is fair enough.
Aye. And I was like, right, well, if anybody's looking at you, it's not because they're laughing, it's because they're concerned, right? And they'll stop looking as soon as they realise you're all right. So if you can get up and show that you're okay, then people are probably just going to get back to that thing. And I'd say, I'm tired of it, right? And she gets up and she's okay, and we get her on a seat and everything, right? And then fucking Hursty runs in, he's a big lad, he's Sel Hursty, right? He's super fast. I just whacks in. He's fucking sweating buckets because he's heading around 100 metres. I've already dealt with it, right? Yeah. And then he said, what's happened? And I went, oh, she's all right. She had a bit of a fall on the treadmill, right? And Hursty trying to make her feel better went, I fall off the treadmill all the time. After the incident, when we were back in the staff room, I was like, all the time, do you? Not a day goes by, you know, like, whoop, there goes me. I'm doing the side of the fucking treadmill again, running with a fucking hard hat on. Fucking imbecile. So, what got onto that?
Who cares?
Doesn't matter. So I've moved, who cares? I always like to think we start going off somewhere. We're going off on tangents, but we'll always find our way back.
Why?
With that attitude, Daniel.
I'm very much of the look. This is the content I provide, right? You've chosen to listen to it, right? If you want somebody that always gets back to the point, you go listen to Ross Noble's podcast. Right? Have him tie that up.
Watch Billy Connolly.
Aye, go watch one of the Masters, right? If you want to listen to people get halfway through stories and then forget why they were telling them, this is the podcast for you.
Yes.
That's been my main step that I've learned from Sober Jan, is one that really sort of helped me.
The one that you didn't spend much of sober?
Yeah, that one. Aye. Well, I did most of it without booze, except for the Graham Norton, where obviously I was drinking there. And then me and Cara had a drink last night because I was like, fuck it, it's the end of January, I don't care. Like, Sober January is only for us. It's not for anyone else in the world. Like, we do it for us. And if we want to have a drink tonight, it's the end of the month, we're allowed to. It's fucking lockdown.
You celebrate when you can see the ribbon, not when you're past it.
Aye. And I don't care if somebody overtakes me. Oh, you came the day before, you're like, I was doing it for me. I'm not doing it for you, random stranger, admonishing me for having a fucking bevy. But
and you give up on the weed because you felt like there was no point in that, you like being high.
Aye, and also, well, yeah, there's just a point in my problem that I had with weed last year was the fact that it was just all day, every day, and I was like, this just isn't, like, healthy, and I can feel myself not being motivated and stuff. Whereas now I'm like, you know, if you wake up whenever, as long as you fucking make breakfast, tidy the house, answer your emails, go on and, you know, stream a bit, or just do something, like, until 4:20. Anytime after that.
4:20?
Yeah, I mean, it's got to.
Purposefully, 4:20.
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
That's what I'm talking about, me hitting 69 on the freeway. Which on that note, by the way, if I was a footballer on the 69th minute, I would just shoot wherever I was on the pitch. Just so your name can flash up with 69 on the screen.
Worldie! Well, no, for it to cut... No, see, that's the thing. You've got to shoot in the 68th minute, because then it's a 69th minute goal. If you actually score when it's 69:02, it's going to come up in 70. And I know this because of FIFA.
Because it comes up 1 if you do it in...
Yeah, the same way that, like, we're in the 20... Even though it's
the first minute.
Yeah, even though it's 2020, we're still in the 21st century, because everything after it is in the 21st century. By 2101, we'll be out of the 21st century and into the 22nd century, because 2101 is the start of the... Yes.
I'm not having that one. I'd agree with I agree with the game one, but the year 0 is still the first century.
0 to 100? No.
The year 10 would be in the first century. The second century.
It's trust me, the way we are in the 21st century now. That's what we are in.
I have been for a year.
No.
Oh no, this is going to be one of them.
You fucked it already. It's 2020.
It's 2021 now.
But if it was 2120, that would be the 22nd century. We are in the 21st century. I was doing decades on it.
Yeah,
you were doing decades.
I was doing decades.
Aye.
Right, but the year 2000
was the start of the 21st century.
But I thought you were trying to get us that like 2001 is
the 21st century. Yes, 21st century.
So it's the 19th century. The year 2000 is the 19th century still until that year's over.
1990 was the 19th century, yes.
No, I think
the 20th century, sorry. 1901 to 1999 was the 20th century.
As soon as it hit 2000.
It's the 21st century, yes.
Okay, good. Because I thought you were saying that doesn't count until that year's over. Until that 2000th year's over.
No.
It's not the end of the century. Right, whereas with the minutes...
Aye, that's why millennium was a big thing.
The first minute.
2000 millennium was a big thing because that was the end of that century. Hey, it's 2000.
Yeah, we're on the same page. I'm not disputing that. I'm not disputing that. But to score in the 100th minute, right?
Scoring in the 101st minute, technically, because you're 5 seconds in to the 101st minute. So if you score a goal and you want it to be the 69th minute, you have to score it, but at 68 something.
Yeah, because. Yeah. Yes, of course.
Glad we got there.
But that is confusing.
Very confusing.
Like, for instance, if you score in the 99th minute, you've actually scored in the 100th minute.
Yep. Aye.
But the 100th minute isn't over yet.
No, it's not over. No.
So it's still within the first 100 minutes.
Yes, but it's the 100th.
But you've scored on the 100th minute.
Yeah. Aye.
Which just, even though it's within 100 minutes, it just doesn't have the same...
Feels like one of those things that Americans would get confused by.
And just for the sake of this thought process, we've went in extra time. I am aware it's a 90-minute game.
Aye.
So, fuck. So, 69th minute, I'm going to trace this back.
Go on.
4:20, you get high. Mm-hmm. And then after that, are you high now?
No, because it's not before. It's because it's before.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. I was going to ask how much you lie to yourself.
No,
like secret eaters.
No. At weekends it goes out. No, there's some days as well where I just go, right, today's a day when I want to be high. Something's gone wrong or my head's just a bit fucking iffy. I'll just go with it. But what I've really learned this year, I don't know if it came from Sober January, but I do remember spending most of last year just going, you could be doing more of that, that fucking voice in your head. You could be doing this, you could be doing that, you could be doing all this, and, building it up. So by January, I'm going to do all these things. And I did some of them, but not all of them. But I've learned to just be like, you know what? Just be fucking happy with whatever. Like, there's no...
Don't be harsh on yourself.
There's no right or wrong way to live this. We're still in the middle of this fucking pandemic, so there's only certain things that I can do. The number one... Because I think for so much of my life I've been so, career orientated and, driven with a fucking goal there. I was like, okay, well, now that goal's gone, I'm going to have another goal to aim towards, but I could never find something that I wanted to do that inspired me as much as stand-up does. Whereas now I've just learned to be like, oh, there's no goal. Oh, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Then I just have to...
Look at it like this. You've completed San Andreas. You can just free roam around the map.
Yes, I can go around, and I'm not gonna kill members of the public, right? Of course, I'll not be the fucking.
I will be looking for a jetpack.
Yeah, of course, not to jump off of anything. Well, in fact, to jump off something so that I don't die. But instead of just going, I could be doing all this stuff and I'm not, which I then just use as a fucking flagon to whip myself with. Just going, what did you do today? Cleaned the house, made 3 meals, ate them all, meditated, read a bit of my book. Then what else did you do? Doesn't matter what else I did. Those are a bunch of good things I did, right? So if I was high for the fucking rest of it, so be it.
That's been my goal for the year, right? Which is because I'm repeating myself, but I'm drilling home the goals, right? Is read a chapter of my book, meditate, do 50 press-ups every day. Such a fucking realistic goal. You can do that within half an hour getting out of bed, really. So I've managed to stick to that, and then I'm adding in as of today to floss my teeth every day instead of just occasionally flossing my teeth. Do that every day and 10 pull-ups. And I think what I'm going to do is just like add good things to this routine as the months go by, and just try and make them just standards for life. So that they're not just like, oh, this is me New Year's resolution and then like it rumbles. I'm just going to try and have like better standards for what I need to achieve in a day.
See, what I've done is just lowered my standards across the board. I've just gone, as long as I don't slap Cara across the mouth, great day.
Look after your hygiene. Don't let that slip.
Aye. But brushing teeth, like the flossing teeth, I do a lot. I've flossed my teeth every fucking day now, but only because I've been to the dentist so many times.
Aye.
And just every...
I'm mad at you again.
Aye.
Oh, prick.
Well, my dentist is great. It's a girl I went to high school with, one of my very, very good friends. And so, but every time, it's more annoying because I know her. Like if it was a dentist
so
that
she could be brutal with it.
Well, because if it was a dentist I was paying, right? If I was going to a dentist who I was paying and they were like, your teeth are fucked, I'm like, boo-hoo, more work for you, shut up. The same way that I got annoyed whenever his fucking teachers would be like, you come to school the next day, tell you what, yesterday, right, last night, the cleaners had a word with us because you'd left such a mess in this place. And you're like, the cleaners complaining about how dirty a place was. I guess you picked the wrong day to be the fucking cleaner then. With a dentist, I'm like, you got bad teeth, and you go, so shut up and do your job. I brought you shit teeth. Go away and fix that problem and lose the goddamn attitude.
Go away and fix it.
Yeah,
in the other room.
Yeah, take them with you, rip them out, go clean them, and then come in and put them in. I'm not sure that is one. Whereas because it's a fucking mate, and because she does most of it as a favour.
Did she do as a favour? You get mates rates on your dentist rate.
Aye.
Oh yeah,
I feel guilty then because I go in and I go. She goes, "You haven't flossed for 6 months." I'm like, "Oh no, I haven't." She goes, "All right, well I guess I'll fix those again." I'm like, "All right, now I'm being an arsehole." Like.
Yeah. I put myself in my own muggle corner, by the way.
All right.
Natalie's ma cut me hair.
Well,
I buckled. I've had a couple of times, and on the most recent one, I'm feeling brave. Feeling adventurous. She took a couple of chunks out of it, and I was like, yeah, you know what, it's alright.
You ever seen Cullen's bald just now?
He's what, bald?
Aye, so he's
He's always been bald?
No, but he bald, like he's shaved it.
Oh, right, he's trimmed it down.
Accidentally, aye.
But was there not still hair there at all? Was that a complete bald head that I've just seen?
Yeah, he was wearing a hat.
Oh, he was wearing a hat.
Aye, that's what he
I was very unobservant.
Aye. Well, no, that's why he was wearing the hat, so he didn't notice. I don't think... look, we'll put it in Muggle Corner, obviously, because, I mean, it's definitely a Muggle Corner. If you get somebody to cut your hair... But it's with such limitations. I
just think I respect people's trades. That's why, like, you know, I've just painted a room in my house, the living room. We could get my teeth into that because we had to get a couple of the rooms plastered, so we kind of paint them until the plaster's dry. But I'm there, and I'm like, should we not get a paint and decorator in? But we've just had to fucking spend a lot of money on stamp duty and shit, right? So we've got to cut corners, right? And I was there going, should we not get a painter? And she's like, nah, everybody just does their own painting and that. And I'm like, aye, but...
Have you seen their houses?
Have a bit of respect for the people in the trade.
Aye.
They're like, oh, painters, like, as a stand-up, if somebody's like, oh, should we get a comedian? Fucking, we'll just get Jimmy from the Counts today and he's funny in the office. You'd be like, are you fucking kidding me?
Aye.
You think this is easy?
I'm with you. I'm a big fan of, and this is an outdated term, but you know what I mean by it. Get a man in.
Get a man
Get
in.
a man in.
Uh-huh.
Anything in my house breaks, right? Can I say? I guess we could have like get a man in. There's a man who's trained to not only fix the thing, but also work out what the problem is. All I have to do is point at said broken thing and be like, that doesn't work like it used to anymore. And it's his job to then, work out how it's done and go get his mates.
Aye. So it's that. And I guess Natalie, I was like, neither of us know how to paint. Right? She's like, oh, it's easy, everybody does it, right? And then I start painting and realise that she's just in the other room, like, rearranging boxes and all that. And I'm like, oh, no, she's just got me doing it solo. But she dived in, because I was doing it now. My dad's painted rooms before, so we'll have had a bit of guidance. It hasn't just been like, oh, this is my first thing, this and you want to run, that can help. But then Natalie started watching over us, going, oh, because when you're cutting in, we'll put the tape down.
Aye.
Right?
The masking tape.
The masking tape. And then you paint the edges, and then you get the roller, and you do the middle, right? People are listening to this, like, every listener has probably painted 100 walls. Average age is 37. I've managed to just get a man in so far. Right? Whether that's a relative. So I'm diving in. Natalie's like, why haven't you? She's such a good backseat painter. So why haven't you do it upwards when you're cutting in instead of side to side, and then it's going to be going in the same direction as the paint that you put on? And I'm like, wait, because if you're going upwards, you're painting quite a long line before it starts fading the paint. But if you're doing side to side, you're getting quite a lot for your paint. It's spreading, right? She's like, oh, you should do it that way, but like just do it near the edge. And I'm like, yeah, but that's still there. She's just tarted. I was like, yeah, you dig it then. And she'd done about, now it's a podcast, she'd done about that much before she handed it back. And I walked away like proper smoking all that can. Right? If she thinks she's good at doing it, she doesn't need to teach me how to do it, she can just do it herself. And then I come back in, there was only a little bit done, she'd moved on. Yeah, but I'm casting shade on her, but she has been classed with the paint and that.
Aye. Also, you've moved into this. Will this be the first time you've lived together where it's just the pair of you?
Well, lockdown forced that because we lived with Kat.
Oh yeah,
in London.
Aye.
But she, when we locked down, she locked down with her boyfriends.
Boyfriends?
Huh? Boyfriends?
Oh, her boyfriends.
I have multiple.
Oh, I
just locked down with like a bunch of dudes. She had the best time ever.
Sounds like it.
In fact, she's been like trying to like sabotage the vaccine centres now.
This is the best life I've ever lived.
This can't end.
Yeah, I'm glad it's a pandemic because I plan to get all of this dick inside of my body.
So I Kat's been getting laid and that. And so we locked in together for that most part. But this has been fucking class moving into a house. Like, cause even when we lived in London, I had like living room, kitchen, and then bedroom and a bathroom. The other bedroom wasn't ours, that was Kat's. Even when she moved out, it had her bed and all that stuff was in it, right? That wasn't ours. So all we had was living room, kitchen, bedroom, bathroom. And now we're just using that as a living quarters. We've got a living room, kitchen, bathroom, and a bedroom while we're decorating the rest of the house. So we're living with like a fraction of our house to the same standard as what we lived in London when it was our whole property. And we're going to have another 3 bedrooms, living room and another bathroom by the time all the decorating's done, and a car, and it's cheaper than living in London.
Aye.
Fucking Scotland's amazing.
It's always yeah, I mean, obviously you've preached to the fucking choir here. This is exactly why I'll never leave Scotland. But
drinking at the tap, I think we've covered this, but
Scotch tap, boy, it's just better.
Also, like I now had Victoria Park, and I did like having Victoria Park there, but it was very much a park in the middle of a city.
Aye.
Whereas I just walk a few yards from my house and I'm in the countryside.
There's loads of. That's a good thing about Scotland.
Yeah, I'm still in the city.
There's heaps of fuck all.
Aye,
there's
countryside in the city.
Aye, you can just fucking go for a dodge and you're like, oh, that's a badger. It's a body of a badger because it's been hit by a car. But it's nice to know that they all haven't moved out yet.
They're still around.
Aye, the roadkill up here is very, very nice. It's very Disney-like. I mean, don't get me wrong, they are all dead, but it's just a wider range of animals than we'd see in London. Oh my god, a dead deer, this is so exciting.
All these dead animals just make me want to cry with happiness. So another thing I've noticed, because I've been up in Scotland for a couple of months now and I have lived here before, but one thing I've noticed in contrast since I've been a bit more out and about, because even though it's lockdown, I've been using essential services like home base. The staff are fucking nice.
Are they?
like the customer service on people that just work in shops and even just the groceries, Grant Asda.
Do you think that's
like
definitely...
people are friendly?
Aye.
And like people couldn't give a fuck about you. There's no service for the smile in London.
Well, of course there isn't, because you never... it would take so long to work out who your locals are, because you see like 50,000 people a fucking day,
Yeah.
and 49,000 of them are just in the area for that time picking up.
There was a bloke lived at my flats, right? And this guy, he had this shit dog, like Soppets.
Aye.
You know, them schnauzers. Aye. You think I hate dogs? Just shit ones. No, he's got the schnauzer, right? And he's always whacking his dog. Like, so every time I go out, he'd be fucking there with his dog, right? I said hello to him every day for the best part of 5 years, and he said, fuck all back.
Aye.
But I just persevered. I'm like, I'm not losing who I am. I say hello to cunts
that's
when I
me.
walk past them, right? And on the last day, right, I'm fucking taking stuff downstairs, lumping stuff downstairs. He walks past us, this shite dog, and he just goes, oh, you moving in or out? He fucking started a fight. What is he, dumb cunt? I said hello to you every day for 5 years. You think I was just fucking frequent visits deciding if I was going to buy it?
And I've decided, no, after 5 years, back up north.
Are you moving in or out? Fucking arsehole.
Mind you, that's interesting, because I always think Scottish staff are friendlier, but I've always just put that down to... I'm Scottish, and so like they're just like, locals are nice to locals, because it's like, alright, you're not one of them. But it's good to know that, I mean, your accent's definitely foreign. One
thing as well, I've slackened on my accent loads compared to when I was in London or when I'm touring, just because everyone's got such a thick accent in Glasgow that I'm like, oh, well, I don't have thick accents here, thank God. And I could just see the bewilderment as people are like, I don't know what he's saying. They're trying to figure out where it's from. They always get it right. It's not like when you're in Australia and they think you're Irish and that. It's like, oh, you're from Newcastle, and then now a dude called fucking Alan from Newcastle or something. Shearer. It's funny how I just went straight Alan. Ask if I know him. But the friendliness caught us off guard. I was in Lynn Park and it was icy, and somebody pointed out that it was icy a bit further down. Like, oh, be careful, it's quite icy on that footbridge. Right, and because I've been in London for 5 years, instantly checked my pockets for change.
Did you?
Because someone tired of us in the park.
Did you have change?
Thank God, I would have given it a fucking just somebody being just absolutely like somebody gets, oh, it's icy doing there, and I'm like, oh, there, get yourself a warm cup of tea. I've been on the receiving end of that before, you know. Someone gave us change when I wasn't, like, obviously wasn't homeless, but
they just handed it to you.
I was hungover as fuck. I was sitting inside Newcastle Airport. I had like fucking time to kill before my flight. Dropped off the hire car or something. I was rough. I sat there fucking. I think I had my baseball cap on the ground or something like that, right? Just fucking, someone chucked coins in. And I still to this day, even after taking the piss off, they thought I was begging.
What answer would you be happier with?
I think they were taking the piss out of us, but I can't be certain I did look rough as fuck. And I was sat there with a fucking upturned hat.
Oh, that is on you. That's it's like if you had a coffee cup with nothing in it. What else do you expect to happen at that point?
Nah.
Stick it in the bin, otherwise people think you're homeless.
I still live now. There's just a couple of lads back by, one of them reached in, chucked his change now. I was just like, get me some Gregsies with that, mate. And get me some steak bake with that. Yes. So anyway, I've fucking got addicted to doing that lately. It's printing money.
So I was, I don't know if I'd point out a slippy spot to someone. I'm a bit of an arsehole in the sense that, like,
you follow them with a camera out.
No, but like I'm very much of, you know, like it's the circle of life. So if I'm walking along, right, and I nearly slip on this bit of ground, and two people have just walked past me, they've not told me that bit's slippy, so they've not paid that kindness forward. Therefore, there's no kindness for me to therefore pay forward. And also, I want to make sure I'm not the only dumb cunt that fucking slipped on some ice there. I want to make sure that I turn round, I go see the other person slip, and I go, oh, good, right, it's everyone. Everyone's a fucking idiot, it's not just me. I'd let it happen. I remember once when I was little, we had a pogo stick, and we just did it in the sort of back of the house, and my dad was like, I bet you can't do 15, and I was trying for ages to do like fucking 15, and then he got bored of watching, so got somewhere else, and then so I moved it to like a different part of the house, and it was just much fucking slippery before, so I was on my post and I fucking cunted it. Like, one jump up in the air, it hit the ground, the rubber bit just fucking slipped, and I fucking spanked it on my ass, right? And my dad comes through, he sees me, like, what happened? And I was like, 16, I got 16. He was like, alright, I'll beat that. And then went to Bogus on the exact same stop, and I was like, let it happen. I watched my 37-year-old dad fucking cut himself off this pogo stick, and he was raging. He's like, is that what I heard? Was that the bang I heard? Did you know this was slipping? I was like, no, I did 16 like I said.
You pranked him.
Not pranked him, I didn't change the situation. It's not my responsibility to change the situation.
Admitting the truth is still lying, Daniel. Or is it?
No.
Is admitting the truth lying?
No, I think it's if lying's a spectrum, it's
very low. It's there with white lie.
Aye, no, I don't think admitting truth is lying. But just because it's not lying doesn't mean it's inherently good. Just because you can still admit lies and be admit truths and still be a shite person.
Yeah,
it all depends on how you wield.
Like, what if you as you said, airport now, the bathtub's full, right? What if the truth that you admitted that it's full of acid?
Well, I'd say that's bad. But also they should...
So every situation's different, isn't it?
Yeah, look, it's all a spectrum. It's a wide wide range of possibilities. Also, I don't know if I'd...
You're talking about you wouldn't tell you would admit the truth to a passerby about the thing being icy.
Again, I'm not admitting truth because I'm not in a conversation with person. So there's nothing to omit because there was nothing happening. I'm not offering up something. I'm not.
Aye, that is true. Otherwise, you can't just give a passerby all of your truths.
Yeah.
Tell me a date of birth now.
Yeah, just sometimes I do the shower just when I'm lonely, just because sometimes when I'm on tour I get bored, so just the warmth of the shower is enough. Anyway, enjoy your walk.
I remember I was walking with Ron and Grace, and you and Jean and everyone was slightly behind us, and I'm chatting away to him, right? This was one of my finest moments. I'm chatting away to him, and I can tell he stopped listening because he spotted these two girls that are walking up in our direction, right? And his head is turning with them as they're approaching, right? And I am like, his eye line's going to follow these girls. He's not going to see the lamppost he's walking right towards, and he's going to whack into that lamppost. So I just cut off in the middle of talking to him, stepped back into between you and Jean, and went, watch this, and pointed at Ronan. Ronan whacked into the lamppost.
Great. Nothing wrong with it. I think that's fine. You're not admitting truth. You're leaving someone a lesson to learn.
Aye.
Because if you told them that, the only lesson that they would have learned is that strangers can be kind, and that's not a lesson I want to teach people. That's a dangerous lesson when people then begin to rely on other people. We went for our Sunday walk yesterday with Gareth and Laura down all the way down Cramage we do. And
doing the river?
I just down the river, just fucking meet up with other people.
Have you been across the causeway yet, to the island? Yeah, you have to check the timings.
No.
I noticed there's a little timing up, a bus stop, and it tells you when you get flooded out.
Cara keeps suggesting it. I'm just not, there it is. So it's very much the Eiffel Tower to me.
Are you scared?
No, there it
Get
is.
stuck or wet?
No, I've walked down there. The walk is the same each week, right? We walk you get to the bit where there's the fucking ice cream van, then we go back.
And then you've got the island that they defended during the war. They set up to defend. Have you read the little things next to it?
No, again, once I've said I've not gone to the island, I can't be arsed.
Oh, it's
because at that point, that's the halfway mark of the walk. If I were to walk
it's essentially
further,
like a museum, the island.
I can't. It's not. If I walk beyond,
you're busy watching stuff about World War II at the minute, and it's quite historic. It's like little.
Oh yeah, that fucking very famous important island. I remember that in fucking episode 9 of World War II in colour. They were talking about that island in Edinburgh. I'll work out one day. I plan to do the work every Sunday. I'm not walking an extra fucking bit.
The causeway.
Can't be arsed. Can't be fucking arsed. It's halfway. I'm halfway through the walk. You're right. If I were to then walk further, it's no longer halfway through the walk. So I've had my ice cream 1/3 into the walk, as opposed to halfway through the walk.
And that's actually, it's just a small walk across the causeway.
It's not at all. It's another 10 minutes. It's another 10 minutes, and it's with people there.
Never known anyone to be scared of a causeway.
Not doing it. I can't be arsed.
Or Mark Nelson's car breaking down on the causeway at the Holy Island.
Oh yeah.
And the water just starts licking his tyres.
Oh, that must be. But That wasn't when he fucked his car. I think they managed to fucking jet ski him out of there.
Aye, that wasn't when it... Always Northumberland, isn't it?
He's got bad.
His car set on fire on the way to my gig.
Aye.
One name just burst into flames. Like Christmas presents and it, man. He's cash payment from the comedy store gigs. The cunt's got no luck.
It was really fucking bad.
No, that was a completely separate time. The time we broke down on a causeway and got washed out by the sea. Two separate incidents with Mark Nelson. Fucking yes.
Well, you'll get to see a bit more of Nelly now that you're in Glasgow.
Aye. Once I'll be able to do what you and Gareth have just done then, like walk up somewhere and cower out of it.
Okay, I mean, you can try and spin it as much as you want. But you can try and spin utter laziness and utter disdain's wrong. We
can walk up to the woods and then just go, oh no, I'm not going to go into the woods. It's not the little red eyeballs that are peering out at us, the little critters. It's not the teddy bears that kind of stoomy picnic. It's just that I just wanted to walk this far, so this is technically halfway.
But it's the end of the walk. It's the end of the fucking walk.
It's the meat and potatoes of the walk.
It's not. The meat and potatoes walking by the river and feeding the ducks. It's not. We didn't walk down there for the island. We got down there and they were like, "Oh, there's a causeway. Shall we go over there?" And I was like, "No,"
because Dad's on holiday and stays in the airport.
I do that, and you know I do.
Stay in the airport.
No, but I'm not going to fucking see the sights that everyone else says I should see just because some other fucking lame cunts had a profound experience out there. I'll make my decisions about what I want to see. That island looks boring as shit. Do I want to spend 10 minutes walking over there, pushing babies into the water because I'm not getting my shoes wet, in order to stand there, to get a very similar view to the one I have here, to then walk back and continue another 45-minute walk home? Can't be arsed.
You can wear wellies if you're scared of getting your ankles wet.
Oh no, I do wear wellies.
It's not about the footwear, guys.
It's not. I cannot be. You cannot. It's about. I'm a very plan-orientated person. So if
I bet your Cara really wants to go to that island.
She does,
well.
and she's welcome to go over.
Go for her.
Why? I can't be arsed.
It's literally like 100 metres.
There's nothing. You're describing it like it's some sort of fucking play school where there's so many secrets. Oh, once you get over there, the view's better. There's a bit. It's not. It's a bit of land 500 yards over there. It's no different to where I am right now.
It's got like little bits like a plinth with a little bit about the history of it. It's got a timetable of when you can cross. It has intrigue. It has major intrigue, and you get like, I only didn't go across because I would have had to swim. I'd missed the timings, and I was like, next time I go on there, I'll try and time it right.
Man, you're more than welcome to. I recommend arriving down there by about 11:30. You can walk straight across.
Time you avoid.
No, that's what I did there, and I watch it. Anyone walk over it, I've got no fucking interest. It's a tiny shit island with nothing on it. So I'm just describing Scotland at this point.
One thing. Oh, sorry, you were telling us about your walk, and then I interjected about the.
Oh yeah, the shite end bit of the walk that nobody else was to do extra, right? So we're obviously like. I understand fucking pensioners need to go outside to fucking walk and to get the fucking fresh air and stuff. And no matter,
stay active in their formative years.
Stay active.
Formative, is that the right word?
Yeah. And we're still in the middle of a fucking pandemic where pensioners are more at fucking risk and whatnot. So I do understand, like, you know, if I'm in a supermarket and stuff, if I see an old person there, I'm a bit easier with pensioners than with other people. Like, if you're standing in front of the spices and I need the spices and you're under the age of 45, I'm leaning over you to get the spices. I'm not waiting 2 minutes for you to decide which fucking cumin you want, right? We can be close at this point.
But if that's an elderly person...
But if it's an elderly person...
Take your time.
I'm
keeping 2 metres from me.
Yeah. So I do try to, even though I have, as you well know, a fucking real strong disdain of pensioners, and I think it's class when they die across the board. I think they're all bad people.
You kind of soften when it comes to killing them.
No, I don't. But I don't want just because
you don't want to be seen to be killing them.
Yes, I want them dead, but I don't want me to be the reason they died. I think it's brilliant when they die, and it should be celebrated. But I'd never want to be the cause of it. We're walking down the fucking thing yesterday, and there's just these, and it's you know the walk. It's a busy fucking walk, right? Especially now that everyone's just enjoying the few hours they can get out of the day. There's this old couple, right, hand in hand, right, and they're just standing at the site, right, and me and Colin just fucking walking up. We've got our ice creams, we enjoyed ourselves just chatting, and I'm not kidding you. They're about 1.5 meters away from us, right? I don't have a tape measure, right, but I make sure that we all go round the fucking outside of the pensioners, and they start, and the fucking old man, a Scottish Tory, I knew the second he opened his fucking mouth, because I knew, because he pointed when he was talking to youth. He went, "You there? Good, 2 meters, 2 meters, 2 meters." I was like, mate, I can't change how wide this fucking thing is. I didn't engage with him, because, well, 2 reasons. One, I was high and I couldn't be arsed. And 2, I was like, there's no interaction that you're about to have with this old man where you come across well. He's even though he wants you to be, even though he doesn't know what 2 meters is, he thinks it's 5 meters, right? He's lost his fucking... He wants us to be walking in a very dangerous part. He's in his own head, he's doing it for his own fucking safety, but we're nowhere fucking near. But just all the way down, it was like a fucking slalom fucking course of just pensioners standing outside going, "Excuse me, could you move further over? Could you move further over?" How about none of you go on a walk? Right?
I did walk somewhere that's not as narrow.
I'm sorry, but I guarantee I'm not the first person you've said this to, and looking behind me, I'm not going to be the last person. So, how about instead of nobody here going for this walk, you don't come on this walk and go over to, I don't know, that causeway that's very boring that nobody wants to go to. May I suggest 3 o'clock? It's a great time to go over. You'll enjoy it thoroughly.
So they stood there to purposefully be cantankerous.
Oh, man, yes.
There's somewhere to grind their fucking decades of angst against.
And again, I understand it comes from a place of fear. He said, I'm protecting my wife against this invisible fucking disease. I'm like, mate, you're outside in the fucking woods, right? If I was a well, I mean, it did cross my mind, just not to do it, but you know how bad things cross your mind that you're never going to do. You're walking across a bridge and your brain goes, "Throw your phone in the water." You never do it. It's just one of those thoughts that comes in your head. My one was just, because it's just this fucking tone, right? And I hate as an adult being spoken to like a child. I think it's one of the most demeaning fucking things in the world, and I fucking hate it. And it makes me regress to being a fucking child. So this is old man. I'm 30 years old. I fucking pay tax. I pay a fucking mortgage, right? I'm a grown man, right? I do not get spoken to. "You there, young boy, go over there." I was like, "You sneeze in his face. Just go pull his fucking mask down, hold his mouth open and sneeze in his fucking mouth." Didn't do it. Never would. Obviously that's murder.
But you had to press snooze on that thought. The thought presented itself.
No.
And you had to go, "Oh, I've got to be a good person and deny that thought." A bad person would activate it.
No, opposite. I snoozed him and then enjoyed that thought for the rest of the walk. I was like, I could stay here and engage with this man.
You got off on the fantasy of it.
Aye. You know, that got off in the fantasy of doing something evil, but while also being the bigger man. Of just going, it didn't say anything negative to him at all. Just went, "All right, sorry," and then moved 20 meters over to the other fucking side. And I was like, that's a good thing, right? I've been the bigger man. I've not engaged with him. I've fucking adhered to his fucking thing. And also, if dreams do come true, I've wished him dead.
like if meta love and kindness works, then so does meta hate and
that's a
evil.
Good question. I would love to ask.
Meta hate and evil.
Would you reckon that's what it is? So obviously, meta loving kindness is the meditation where you think of someone that you like and you care about, and you picture them being happy.
Well, this is where Milo McCabe would think that it was going to just give the person you're thinking about a spring in their step, right? But this is where I would go, no, this is all for me.
Yes.
My attitude towards them and who they are to me is going to be improved, and my relationship with them is going to be improved by me having good thoughts, having 10 minutes of guided meditation.
And also makes yourself feel better. Having happy thoughts, positive thoughts about someone you love makes you feel like a good person.
The other day I was doing a meta one, and they were like, think of someone that you've got an uncomplicated relationship with, and I was like, right, Matty the Pincer.
Aye.
Right, let's just think about Matty. And then I started wishing him well, and it was making us think nice things about Matty and that. And in the 10 minutes I had the worst headache. My head was banging. This is meant to make us feel better. I feel dehydrated. Absolutely drained.
It was only when I started doing fucking meta loving kindness that I realised up until that moment I'd been living my life the opposite. Instead of just sitting down for long periods of time and just thinking about you or Natalie or Jean or Ali or any of the people that I care about and wishing them well, I'd just sit on a plane with a glass of whiskey going, it's going to be fucking brilliant when Nigel Farage is dead. It's going to be so class when Nigel Farage is dead. It's going to be a great day on the internet.
Just sending hate into the world.
Oh, but that's what I was doing. But that also made me feel good. I just find it's less progressive. So whatever the opposite of meta is, I've been accidentally doing it for most of my life. But the meta stuff, I mean, have you done the? Because obviously the later stage of the meta stuff is somebody that you do have a complicated relationship with, and then I think it just turns into picture Hitler and picture him happy. And,
oh yeah, I think there was. I didn't have to date about anyone that I hated.
aye,
But it was like someone you find annoying. Who was it again?
Matty again.
Matty. I can't remember who it was now, but I just like maybe Pasco. I was like, nah, I fucking stopped it. I was like, I want to do that. I wish I couldn't well. But I was dating him. I was dating one today, and it's the one that you hate, the headless way.
oh,
And I know you hate it. Like I kind of do the things now without thinking how much you hate it. Like you would have fucking hated this one. It was the movement episode of the Headless Way. It was about how you don't move, things move through you, right? So could you stand up, right? And it's basically like the concept of it, right, is that you are a stillness and everything happens within the stillness. Like your consciousness is still. Any sound that passes through it is entering and exiting the stillness that is your consciousness. I get that concept of it. So he's like, point your finger at your face, right? And he's like, ask you to stand up, point your finger at your face, like, now move around. And just say, so are you moving, or is the world outside moving past you?
you're moving.
I'm like, yeah, I'm moving.
Yeah, you told me to.
And
that's
you've
why
just
I'm
given
moving.
us like this point in front of us that isn't moving. Well, that's moving with me. So it gives the illusion that everything else is moving by, right? So it's one of them mental fuck ups where I'm trying to see what the guy's getting at and what he's trying to put down, right? Whereas you would have just went, no, this is wrong.
Aye, it's
right?
factually wrong.
So what he's saying is like if you're sat on a train, right, and you're facing the way you're going, right? Everything rushes towards you and passes through the void that is you, right? And anything when you're facing the other direction,
I don't like being referred to as a void.
the void, vacuum. You're an absolute vacuum.
A
right?
joy, a soul sucking.
So when you're travelling the other way, everything is coming out of the endless void that is you. Right, so he's trying to give it that, right? And I'm trying to fucking take it on board, right? And I've fucking got my finger pointing at my face and I'm turning around. And I fucking look on my fence and see, like, all the other houses in my new street. And like, oh, there's all my new neighbours fucking looking through. God, who's that cunt that's moved in?
I just likes pointing at his own face.
I just fucking spinning around in a circle, pointing at his own face, the daft cunt. I keep an eye on nonce that one.
Point at the nonce. He's doing it. He's doing it.
You see, there's a nonce movement number such and such.
Oh, I've been bad with not bad with meditation, but I've been off of it. I've been finding my meditation in other things. Like this morning, you know how I hate doing the floors? This morning was yours as well. I did the floors this morning, but I was just like, do it. Instead of doing what I normally do when I do floors, which is go, fuck, I wish this was over, I fucking hate doing the floors. I was like, why not just practice the movement fucking meditation of be present in every part of it, right? Because then, double whammy, you're technically meditating, and that way you don't have to go listen to that fucking nut job whisper lies in your ears for 20 minutes because you're tied into a fucking subscription that you can't cancel for some fucking reason. Or, you can get that same 20-25 minutes of peace that you used to get from that fucking nut job, right? And have a clean floor at the end of it. So it's a bit, I mean, you still get distracted. The problem is you don't have Sam Harris constantly going, hey, come back.
The item of mindfulness is the task at hand, which is why I find knitting so good, man. Because it's a task. It's like you're focusing on something. I've got no more to say on that, man. I just want to change the subject.
Oh, no.
They had bookmarked something in my head. I was like, I'll get back to that. So there's a nice segue here. I've loved chatting to builders.
Aye.
Like I didn't chew their ear off. I didn't have that fucking day, right? Because I've had guys come in to skim the walls, right, and also to fix the radiator that I pulled off the wall.
Mm-hmm. What did you?
I just, I looked at it and I was like, not for me that. I wrenched it off the wall.
So why did you rip a radiator off the wall?
So it was on brackets. Right? Not anymore, it's not. I was scraping the wallpaper off. And I lifted the radiator off to put it on the floor so I could get behind it.
Right.
I didn't think I meant to do that.
No, I was going to say, why was that ever part of your process?
Because I think I've seen my dad do it.
Right.
Right? I think I've seen radiators, like, but clearly what he's done.
It's unscrewed it and...
Something like that.
He's
Turn
like,
it off.
Yeah, he's turned the main off of the wall. Like, he's made sure that none of it's fucking connected up. He's put the taps in so all the water will eventually flood at the tap, so there's no water in the system, so that when he takes off the wall, there's not a...
Aye, like, clearly done something. Bleeded it. Bleeded a radiator. Is this not like, you've got mouse and mice, but when you've got a mouse for a computer, it's mouses. It's mouses with a computer. Mice is like the collective
Disagree.
term. Mouses.
Disagree.
Hanged.
Oh yeah, I know that one. But the same way that I'll never say jump, I'll only say jamp, and I know jamp's not a
Jamp.
word. Jamp.
Oh, I do one of these.
Oh,
as well.
jamp is Scottish.
Nah,
I jump in
I
the water, I jump in the sea.
I didn't
jump
like that.
over
I'll
the...
never date, but I respect you. Not for me though.
Aye.
There's one that I heard used on television, and she called herself on it. It was on like Good Morning or something, and she's a Geordie lass, and she said it, and then realised it wasn't a word and corrected it. And I was like, oh, I've always wondered if that wasn't a word. Like treated.
Oh, tret.
Tret.
Oh, tret.
I tret myself. Isn't a word.
See, now this is where this is people come in and go, that's not a word, that's not a word, that's not a word. And you go, right, okay, maybe not by the standards of that language, but here's a question for you. When I said the word, did you know what I meant? Right. So did the word convey meaning, which is the job of a word? When I said the word, did it convey the meaning I meant to get across? Yeah, right. So you're just being a pernickety cunt.
Yes. And I do think bled is with bleed the radiator, because you're using it in the same exact language as when you bleed.
Aye.
Right? Because it's like
And also
it's the fluid leaving the thing.
English words don't always follow the same... English is a hard word because all our rules for each word change. Like, you can add ed on something to make it a verb of past tense, but that's also not always the fucking case. There's all the exceptions that I before E is except after C. There's a lot of that in the English language. So, you know, in Scotland we've got fucking jamp, and they're like, jamp's not a word. And you go, right, but do you know what I mean when I say jamp? Yes, right. So what's the fucking problem? I'll not write it down in an exam. And I accept that. If it was in an English exam, I'd fail in an English exam. But in everyday conversation, we're not in it. It's not an exam. If I say I jump in the sea, you go, what? You what in the sea? You masturbated in the sea? You juggled into the sea? I jump. Work it out.
I think when you ask for a glass of water in America, and we've been through this before, but they're like, what?
What?
Water.
Huh?
Water. You're like, oh, so it was close enough for you to get it.
Water? You want some water? Just water.
Anyway, I'm not gonna use. I didn't like jump, but I get it. You're not gonna stop using it. It's like people in Ashton say sna instead of snow. It's because you know how to say a different na.
Aye.
Sna. Snow. No snow. Nah.
So
sna.
hold on. So in a...
But
so obviously, like
I think most Geordies opt out of saying sna, but Ashton, like deepest darkest Northumberland, sna.
So there used to be a comedy club at the fucking Escape, the indoor snowboarding skiing place in Glasgow, and they used to do a comedy night there, and it was called Snow Joke. But that pun would still work in Cramlington of Sna Joke.
Sna Joke.
Because nah also.
Nah, because it's no. You say nah for no, as in knowledge. You wouldn't say nah for no, you'd say nah.
For no.
For no.
So nah is no as in
nah,
opposite
sna.
of yes.
Nah, sna. Right, that aside, bleeding the radiator, right. I get Natalie and her mum were both like, Kai, you're not meant to take that off the wall. I think it's on hinges, comes off the wall.
Oh, what's that? So let me just replay this again. So there's two women there going, Kai, you're not meant to rip that off the wall. And you, being from Blythe, you're like, well, that's two women's opinions, so that counts as towards, I think, half of a man's opinion. So you're almost there, ladies.
Yep.
Unfortunately, you're still outvoted, so I'll go ahead.
So I do have some. I do need to correct my behaviour. I am very aware of that. I catch myself doing it all the time, and this was one of them moments where I didn't catch myself.
It's really like these dumb broads.
And I was like, "Oh, these dumb broads, man." Like, how do they think the wallpaper got put behind the radiator?
Right.
Because somebody's dad did it, and they fucking bleeded the radiator. Right. So I just say, "Nah, you just put it down here, man." Fucking what? I just starts pissing out the pipe.
Right? I wonder why.
And I'm like, I need a spanner, I need a ratchet, right? Fucking Natalie runs through the room, she brings us the spanner with a wheel in the middle.
Oh,
like
the fastest one, yes.
The monkey wrench. So I get that in and I start tightening it, and I was like, oh, it's not coming out the thing, it's cut in, like it had actually bent the pipe, and there was a hole in the pipe, and it was coming out the pipe, right?
What sort of volume are we talking?
Like putting your finger over the end of the tap.
Right.
Like a spray.
Yeah.
Like a last pissing.
Right.
Right. And it's spraying everywhere, right? And I couldn't think of what else to do apart from shout, we need a plumber. So I'm just there. The place is getting drenched. It's my fucking first day in my fucking new house. And upstairs and out, so I'm thinking about the ceilings.
Aye.
Yeah.
Aye.
Like, we need a plumber! We need a plumber! Luckily for me, there was a plumber coming.
Was there?
There was a plumber on the way. Because the person who set up with the house, the heating wasn't working, so like he'd come to try and get it on. He thought it was something to do with the pressure. And he booked someone to come and do it, right? Because when he's handing over the house, they've been built by the previous owners. There was a couple of like little things that they've just picked up. They're like, oh, what are the problems? We'll deal with it. So he was dealing with that. Like the previous owner had his guy come and run to sort my boiler out and get me heating on. So luckily there wasn't any heating in the. Like that wasn't boiling hot.
No, aye.
Oh, fucking jammy bastard! That wasn't fucking roasting hot water coming out. I just used all the blankets that were brought, all the floor rugs, the dust sheets for the painting. Just got all of them and just put them under, mopped them up. Every fucking towel in the house, just fucking until the radiator had drained all of these garments. And then it eventually stopped raining, and I'd stopped shouting when I needed a plumber.
So the plumber came over and probably went, "You're not meant to rip that out of the wall for no fucking reason." Just Natalie and her man were like, "Well, surprise, surprise, that's what we said."
I needed a man to tell us.
Thank God you came here. These two ladies, they were saying I shouldn't rip this out of the wall. You think they should? Okay, it's now 1.5 to 1. Okay.
By the way, two ladies who are both way more proficient at life than me.
100%. Yeah.
Way more proficient. Like there was a bust pipe just because of the ice at their house, at the parents' house, at Natalie's parents' house, and it was just because it had froze just above the tap, and when he turned the tap on and fucking released it, and it started spraying from above the tap. Nobody knew where the stopcock was. I didn't live there. Bobby didn't because Baja's the man of the house, right? And Alex just probably like didn't seem to give a fuck. Right, so it's just three blokes there going, wait, this is just kind of keep spraying until the lasses get in. and it was like a realisation in that moment that like it's a matriarch, much like your house, much like your upbringing. It's a matriarch, and then those two were behind us. They're not better than me. I know that. It's in my knowledge.
Aye, but I'm not going to...
But they're deep-rooted, ingrained...
But ladies, I'm sorry. Who invented plumbing? It was the Romans, and as far as I've heard, there was no such thing as a Roman woman. That's why they're called Romans. Stay in your lane.
And I catch myself all the time if I'm like, if I talk about a pilot, I'll default them to male. If I talk about a games designer or a surgeon, I'll default them to male. If I see somebody fucking fanny on at a junction, I'll default them to woman. Right? And I fucking check myself all the time. Like, this is like ingrained shit. Where normally people my age will just pour cement over that and go, it is who I am. I do try and check myself. That was just fucking one of them moments for me.
I do get those moments whenever, like, I really understand, like, if there's a fucking traffic problem and you're like, this dumb bitch, and you go, oh, no, it could be a man.
Then you drive past them and you go, no,
I was right. I
wish it was a bloke.
God, not only am I sexist, I'm correct.
But so this is the plaster, the heating engineer, the plasterer, and all that have come run, and I feel like when I talk to them, even though I'm fucking useless at the stuff that they do, right, I feel like they see us as one of them. You know, no. I feel like they're like, oh, he's a working class lad, he probably likes his sports now. Like I feel like I have way more in common with the builders that come from Houston than I do with like my friends in the arts. You know what I mean? That should be me.
I just get not nervous around fucking trainees, but just whenever they come round, because it's a big nice house because a lot, like, you know, I'm only famous if you watch fucking comedy, but if you don't, you've got no idea who I am. So you've just got traders coming in, like, oh, it's a nice place. Thanks, man. So your mum and dad? No, it's me. Oh, what does your girlfriend do? No, it's me.
This guy, the one that sits on the couch playing with his phone every day as you pass through doing work.
Yeah. Oh, where's she? No, she's upstairs working. Yeah. Who paid for it? No, I promise you it was me. I know this. I know it seems like I'm a toy boy. I know she comes downstairs.
You expect an elderly woman with a husband and dead husband's
comes
riches.
downstairs and they're like, what? That's her? I'm like, yeah, she's the one I've gone for. She's a cougar. Look at her.
I do feel like, I don't know if you got this as well because you've had quite a few like builders through the house in the last few months. I hate doing nothing in the house while there's people in the house working. I hate sitting there with my book or sitting there playing on my phone. You know, if there's somebody, like, if he's gone up between the radiator and the boiler and I'm sat in my rocking chair reading a book, I feel like I should be doing something.
Disagree, because I'm like, I get what you mean, and I absolutely, like, we were getting our plumbing fixed last week, the fucking heating finally, and there was like 3 guys in the house doing it, and they're all just going round, like being like, make sure the pipes are connected to the right fucking bits, and that's just the entire time. And I was sat there reading my book, and it crossed my mind just being like, you know, I offer them teas and coffees.
You've got to do that.
Do that, but it's just going to point to go. Anytime my voice goes, get up and help them, I guarantee you're just going to annoy them. Like, this is like take all of your pride and all your. I'm being useless. Trust me, the most useful you can be to this man is to be nowhere near what they're doing. Otherwise, they wouldn't be here.
Don't be their heckler.
Yeah. So what's the? I know, because I've caught myself so many times before, just, you know, instinctively having the conversations that you feel you sort of need to have when the plumber's fixing something. Like when he was diagnosing it, I was just stood behind him for 10 minutes going, oh aye. And I was like, mate, I don't know what you're saying or what you're talking about. And I'm just going to leave. Come update me on it. And then he was like, mate, that's much better for me.
You just want to grab them by the arm. Just please don't rob us. I'm stupid. Don't take advantage.
Well, I've also oh man, fucking, when we first got this place, the original tradie saw me coming from a mile off. There was at least one tradie just fucking... took it and gone. But with these new plumbers that we've got, like, they're, you know, when you get somebody who's just fucking immaculate at their job, at their profession, regardless of what it is, doesn't matter whether that person is like even if it's just a fucking bus driver who's always on time.
Spinning the same guy from Seoul.
Aye, but like, no matter what their job is, they give it 100% and they're experts on it.
That's why I really enjoyed seeing Pink in concert.
Aye.
I'm not that into her music, but I was like, she is killing it.
She's a fucking professional. Man, it's the same thing. I got to do like a history podcast with a guy from Dundee University last week, and he's gone to Mexico because he just wants to understand basically how the coffee beans spread all over the world, but why it changes from place to place. And this is just one tiny bit of like South American fucking history. But he was so into it, right? Nothing that's ever interested before.
Is this a tradesman?
No, sorry. I'm talking about... No.
Right.
I did a podcast last week.
Yes.
But the guy on it, was just his history major is in like the coffee bean in South America, right? And you go, all right, that's not that interesting. And then you listen to him fucking talking about it, and it's his fucking passion. And you end up listening to this guy going, this is actually fascinating. When you find somebody who loves their fucking job, it's the ones...
I think it's attractive.
Yeah,
it's a real attractive quality. When someone is fucking properly good at what they do.
This is my job. This is what I'm an accountant, I'm a banker, whether it's a fucking, you know, dancer, swimmer, fucking postie. Speaking of which, I've no idea where our postie is and we're genuinely devastated. They've sent our postie. They've sent a replacement. We're still getting a post, but our regular postie, who we get all the time, who has banter with us, right? Great postie. Like, I give him a good tip every Christmas because I like him that much. He's always...
He's either changed his route, got a new job, retired?
Don't know. Just worried sick, mate. I don't know where he is.
How do you find out?
Well, he stopped coming. So occasionally, like, we'd see him, like, maybe 3 or 4 times a week, but the occasional day when it wasn't him, right? And it was some of the other miserable co-workers, right? But and then just for Christmas, I gave him his Christmas cards.
Did you tip him enough to retire?
Well, I didn't think so. Like, it was a fucking nice tip because it's fucking pandemic, and again, good at his job, and he's great. Our security systems here is a fucking nightmare sometimes, and how bad our gates can be and how long it takes them to open and whatnot. he will always just he knows the way to sneak under, how to get it in.
He has his lunch at your gate. And he's waiting for it.
Aye, he's good, and we don't know where he is. I've not asked the other ones yet because
You didn't want to like.
I don't want to fucking mug them off and be like, excuse me, where's our regular postie?
You're doing a great job. I don't even know his name.
Aye, but where's the guy I like? What's he look like? I'm not that good at faces, but I'd recognise him if I saw him.
Can you just bring everyone you work with one by one?
Open up your Facebook. I'm assuming you're friends with all posties on Facebook, so just go through your friends list and I'll tell you which one he is.
Write him a letter.
How?
How's he going to get it?
How's he got? I don't know where. So look, if you're my postie and you're out there listening to this,
So
please come back. We miss you dearly. It's been a month.
That's sad.
It is.
Sorry about that, mate.
Worried that because we're obviously worried that he's got COVID and he's done a die, right? Or he's been let go. Which
I was listening. You're not a big fan of this book, but the Dark Tower on audiobook, right? First 4 audiobooks read by the same guy, right? The fifth one, different guy. And not wrong with the other guy, right? Nothing wrong with this dude, but I like Frank.
Aye.
Frank was killing it, right? You're also killing it, but just in a different way that it's unfamiliar. And you're putting different voices on for Eddie Dean that he was putting on. So now it's a different, like it's like Home and Away where they replace the actor. Right? Like it's just not. I'm not vibing off it. Right? I get the end of the book, and then Stephen King does like an epilogue that's not in the actual book, but is in the thing, which is a tribute to Frank, who'd been in a fucking motorcycle accident. And like he's still alive. But he's like fucking brain damage or something like that, and I was fucking gutted. This bloke they're like 28-hour books or audiobook, right?
The man had read you bedtime stories every day for
every fucking day, man. I'd spend hundreds of hours,
especially when you're lonely, so when you're in the car driving, you're on a train, you do your thing.
And because it's like a book, I was going through a range of emotions with him. I grieved with him. You know what I mean? Jesus.
I always used to hate when fucking not graphic novels, comic books, when they came out week by week. The Ultimate Spider-Man ones, you get fucking 102 issues into a series, and they go, "Oh, we've changed the artwork." And you go, "You might as well change the superhero. I'm not interested." Like I've become so fucking used to this thing.
What if have Saga just cauterised their books? Have they stopped?
I think so because
they were like, "Oh, we're going to take a break now at the end of was with 2 years ago."
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, we're going to take a break now," and then I'm like, "Oh, fucking tap me watch now." I'm like, "This is a quite long break." This.
No, I've not. I think the 9 was the last graphic novel that was out, and I did buy that fucking.
Because when that one came out, I read through the ones I'd read again, and I happily do it again. As soon as the next one comes out, I'm reading it from the beginning up until that.
If anyone's not read Saga before, it's by Fiona Staples and Brian K. Vaughan. It's a very, very, very good graphic novel that's sort of set in a future where just the entire universe is at war, but it's about the characters in it are amazing.
And they're from the two factions that are at war with each other.
It's almost Romeo and Juliet, but with so much more fucking and carnal, bestial fucking shit. Like there's so many. It's
brutal.
It's but it's also such a vibrant world. There's so many great different types
of character arcs are fucking great. Like the Will.
Like if you've never gotten into graphic novels and you always go, where do I start? Saga Book 1 is a good one because I think it's also really good at like shattering the illusions of what people expect graphic novels to be. Like I expected when I started, I was like, oh, so they're just like little cartoons, like it's family friendly, like it's all, everyone's nice to each other. It's like
so what is
it's
it?
like a Beano.
Disney?
Yeah, it's like Beano. It's like the fucking dandy, and then you go off and you start reading. You're like, oh my god, well that was a.
How come like I love Lock and Key. How is the series not a hit? Because I don't feel like they've done anything wrong.
I think they did a bunch of things wrong.
And you know what? It was a bit like it wasn't as dark as I was expecting. It was a bit more like watching a fucking teen movie, like The O.C. or something. But when you think of the graphic novel, it kind of was.
Aye. Do you know what I genuinely think it was missing? I loved the graphic novels. Obviously, I stopped watching the TV show after about fucking 8 episodes. It just didn't win me over.
Nah, same. I wasn't won over by it, and I just can't put my finger on what it was. Was it what I just said, that it was a bit of a teen movie? Was it too PG?
It might have been too... No, I think they did go a little bit PG, but again, I don't begrudge them that because they were going to Netflix, and obviously, it's a story about fucking teenagers, so it's hard to sort of make that adult leap. They took out some of the gore. You got to remember one of the opening scenes in Lock and fucking Key is the guy's dad gets his fucking brains blown out and the son sees it, right? That's not in there. They tone that down, and that's the trauma of that character. Also, not to do disservice to any of the actors in it, who I all thought were great, but there was no standout fucking actor. When you've got a show like that, either the villain or the good guy has to be fucking... the guy that played Moriarty in Sherlock, or it needs to be fucking...
This is a bad example because nothing like it, but Joe Gilligan and Brassic.
Yeah, but
that would not be what it was without him.
Yes, but that's what you need. You need an actor. Joe Gilligan's a great example. You need an actor who's so good that's going to fucking leap out, and whether they are a good guy or a bad guy to go with. But
I actually think he actually carried Preacher, Joe Gilligan, as Cassidy. I didn't think Preacher was... the snobbery. It wasn't even... I didn't even feel like it was the same story as the graphic novel.
Oh, it was... No, but that was...
It was just like... It was a departure, but yes, Cassidy was class.
It was... But it was... Seth Rogen's... It was intentionally a departure just because... as we've just discussed it's so hard to do the graphic novels well. Like, and across the board, like, you have to mix it up just because it's such a different format. The closest people have ever gotten is fucking The Watchmen and 300, and the only reason those movies are good is because the fucking director was told to copy them fucking frame by frame. Whereas there's all this sort of creativity that comes in with
you know what they should have done with Lock and Key? That should not have been a series. It should have been a computer game. That's a fucking premise on a computer game, that the keys do the different things, because you get so much of a puzzle aspect from it and so much of a visual aspect from it.
But when you got to go, like, you can't go from graphic novels to computer games. It's got to go up. You've got to get movie first, and then it becomes a computer game. They weren't doing Harry Potter games before the Harry Potter movies, unfortunately.
I never played the Harry Potter. Is there a new one coming out?
Apparently there are.
On the PS5?
Oh yeah, fingers crossed they're good.
Oh, I didn't get my PS5, by the way. I don't know.
Oh, that's what we were going to talk about. What time are we on?
We've done 70 minutes.
No!
We should just stay.
Yes. Oh, I knew there was something I wanted to talk about. I was sat there while you were talking about your shite house going, I'm sure there's a reason. I was like, there was something I was going to bring up during this fucking podcast, and sure enough, there it is. So, do you want to tell your version of the stories?
So, Alexander, Natalie's brother, he designed and ran a program, right? He's good with computers. He's a web designer, right? And he ran a program that just searches for PS5s that have been released, right? And it'll come up, and sometimes it'll be like you'll get a notification again. It's one on eBay for like £1,500 or something. But he's constantly on the search for them, and he's just trying to get one at we could have had one already at over the price. He's just trying to get one at retail.
Yes,
right. And one of the ones that come up is £100, £70 plus 30 postage and packaging, right? And so Alex gets a notification like the minute that it goes up, and he texts us the thing and goes, this has went up for fucking £70. It's on Amazon. I don't know what the deal is, but I've tried to buy one, right? And I just instantly tried to buy one as well, bought it, right? And then sent Matty the link, and I didn't send it anywhere past that, right? Because I thought this number of things, right? I didn't want to be the reason everybody gets scammed. Right?
Right, I'm sorry, you go.
And I don't want to be the reason everyone gets scammed. Also, if they have listed it at the wrong price, right? Left a zero off, right? Put on a 70 instead of 700, right? I don't want them to be getting spammed to the point they have to retract everything. But if they're like 3 slip the net, they're going, oh fuck, we've just sold 3 at that price. And then they could relist it at the regular price. It was on Amazon. That reputable company. And within fucking hours it was gone. It was like sold out.
What I love.
Or unavailable.
You were so excited. You told me and Colin, you're like, we think we're going to get £70 PlayStation 5. Alex has done this thing. We found this thing. And I'm the second you go £70 PlayStation 5, me, Colin, and everyone else in the world, including this podcast, went, right, so it was a scam. You think you get a £70?
Oh, you think you're getting so alive?
You think you're getting a £70 highest before, second highest before.
If it was on eBay, I would have been like, well, that's a scam. But because it was on Amazon, because Hyungmin Chu Sao Pao was selling it. Did you see the name on the thing?
I did.
It was 12 Chinese names with no spaces in between them.
And you were like, this seems...
In the DPD number, you know, you put the, as a DHL or DPD, it doesn't matter, right? You put the code in for the tracking, right? Theirs come up with nothing, right? But theirs was only one removed from mine, their number, right? But theirs didn't work. And then I put mine in, and it said that it had went from Hong Kong to China to Peru. And I was like, it's on its way, right? And then it didn't have the rest of the journey. But then I checked a week later and it hadn't moved from Peru. And I checked like a week later, like a few days after that, because it wasn't much longer than a week, right? A few days after that. And I noticed the date, I noticed November. So they give me a dingy tracking number.
So what had actually happened was you, Matty and Alex saw 75 PlayStation 5s and you were like, we've absolutely done them. Somebody's not only selling a PlayStation for £700. They're not trying to make a profit on this. They've bought 3 and they're going to sell them at a markup of merely £100.
Do you not hear me? It was going through Peru. They were going to use it as a mule, pack it with cocaine, take the real product, the real merchandise.
Why would they do it with a real PlayStation 5?
So that they could so they're trading as hundreds of pounds worth of equipment.
It's such a low level scam, and this guy must have been thrilled. Where he's just like, fuck it, we're gonna put a bunch of £70 PlayStation 5s. Let's look, we just. Bing, bing, bing! 3! 3! Oh my God, Mum! 3! From the same... They must be friends! They're all... Well, they can't be friends, since they got their other friends to join in on this.
They'll be going, oh, there's going to be more. They're going to text all their other mates now. Oh, that's sad. They're sad, lonely people. So we got the dispatch notification. We're like sending pictures of the dispatch notification. It's on its way. It's real.
Our £70 PlayStation 5s, because obviously the man meant to sell them for £700, but we bought them for £70, and it's legally binding that he has
zero. So it didn't arrive.
No.
I got a refund.
Right.
Full refund, including the postage and packaging, because I was like, that must be a scam.
I'm glad you didn't fall in dog shit, but let's not pretend that all 3 of you didn't fall over each other fighting over dog shit. Right? I'm glad you don't stink of shit, but don't for a second pretend 3 of you weren't fighting over dog shit at one point, being like, let's get this dog shit before our friends can.
But look at here, I got hit with dual dwelling stamp duty because I'm tied into negative equity with my brother's flat. Right. I bought a flat with my brother, right, which now if I sold it, I still wouldn't pay off what was left on it, right? So I'm stuck with this house that I couldn't get rid of. So poor Natalie had to take the burden of it and pay extra stamp duty. So we got a massive tax bill. And a
£70 PlayStation would have been nice.
Because I can't lumber my wife with my burdens, financial burdens like that, and then just like stealing with a PlayStation when she's fucking painting her own walls because of me.
She's cleaning up the floor from the radiator. Natalie, it's only 70 quid. That's what happened. And she's in the other room going, no, it's not. Why would there be a £70 PlayStation? What have I married? Oh. It's a quick question before we move on.
Yeah.
Did you, or do you plan to, before you paint some of the rooms, write things on the wall for the next homeowners?
Oh, I didn't do it. But you know what? I feel like it's because I'm painting with our dad. I think he's. I don't think he has that kind of joy in him.
No.
Nah, he's a laugh. Like I have a laugh of him. I don't think. I think he'd look at that and touch and shake his head. I think he'd feel like he was above that. Right, so I'm gonna have to do it on the sly.
Bobby, is that Stephen Gerrard outside? Is that Stephen Gerrard changing the cars on your tyres? Bobby, you better go get him. Kai was here, lol. Paint.
So, but when you're painting, is there any point in it when you're painting?
What?
Nobody strips paint. If I was wallpapering,
that is good. Oh no.
If I was wallpapering, it would be much more on my radar. But because I'm painting, I didn't feel like anyone's going to get under that layer of paint.
No, I think you can, because that's what the I'm pretty sure they do. I mean, I'm not a tradie or anywhere near it, but I've definitely had to fucking chisel paint off walls before, because when we were in the spare room upstairs,
that's why we got it plastered. Because so basically what they've done, there's two parts of the house, right? There's the extension, which is fucking brand new, and then there's the main part of the house, which is like fairly old, and they haven't. That isn't up to speed with the extension bit. So what they've done is, like, it's been painted on, then wallpaper over, then the wallpaper has been painted, and it was like the room got bigger when we stripped it, because it just had layers and layers, and we realised why they were on wallpaper and paint on the wallpaper, because when you strip it, like, it's fucking patchy paint. You'd need paint stripper, you'd need to basically polyfiller the whole thing, so we just got it plastered. So I didn't think we'd be able to see behind it. Anyway, we are overrunning.
Well, and it's also, we've gone past 4:20, so I'm sober for no good reason.
Okay, let's sort that out. Oh, and me Wi-Fi's arrived. So I'm going to have Wi-Fi in my house now as well. So I'll be able to stream tomorrow. There's the plug. I'm going to be knitting at 12 o'clock UK time on Tuesdays and Fridays from my new house.
Fucking good. Congrats.
Twitch stream is twitch.tv/Kai Muggins.
There you go. Since you didn't get into university, your dad used all the funds they saved up to buy and rename a bunch of stars. And if, on a clear night, you angle your telescope north by northeast, upward at an angle of 65 degrees, you can see a beautiful constellation of stars, each named after a letter that spell, "My son is a ret." It's a work in progress.
Is it ret?
Ret.
Oh,
Well, he's still working on it. I don't know what's going to say. I look forward to the next ones.
Your dad wears Doc Martens to play football.
Your dad pierces grapes and drinks them like they're mini Capri Suns.
Your dad had a different wedding song to your mum when he just wore headphones.
Your dad is currently on a health kick because he wants to lose a bunch of weight so he can fulfill his dream of being the angel on top of the Christmas tree.
Your dad is Dean Gaffney's limo driver.
That's Mr. Gaffney to him. Your dad pisses directly upwards in the shower just to remind it who's boss.
It.
Alright, you win. Come on. Alright, clean me.
Your dad is so competitive he pushed harder than your mum when she was giving birth to you and he prolapsed his anus.
But to be fair, she never complains about childbirth around him. She's like, childbirth? So he's like, you think childbirth is so?
You didn't even know he was born.
Your dad lost his job as a Your dad lost his job as a school teacher after one parents' teacher evening where all he would say about the girls is that they have nice tits for a fat lass. Alright, Mr. Humphreys, we just hear about Christine today, yeah? Nice tits for a fat lass. Next!
Oh, okay. Your dad whistles while he shoplifts so that he doesn't look suspicious.
Shoplifting!
I'm not stealing anything! So what we're going to do now is you're going to do an intro and you're going to be really kind about us, aren't you?
Aye.
Super kind.
Uh-huh.
Like the nicest you've ever been.
Yep.
Yes.